Good morning, television family. Good to see you again. Wednesday, 12th day of August, 2020. This is Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. I'm Dan Kuntz, your host, and here we go. We got a pretty good show lined up for today. I always say that. Sometimes it's even true. We got some news to get to. Sports, of course, the big sports story in the world of collegiate sports. There will be no fall sports, football or any other fall sports for that matter, in the Pac-12 conference coming up this school year. They've decided to punt, if you pardon the pun, until the beginning of next year. The Pac-12 made that announcement about an hour after the Big Ten made their announcement. The Big Ten has 14 teams, and their vote to postpone the fall sports season in the Big Ten was not unanimous. The Pac-12 was unanimous. All 12 of the voting members, one per school, said, yep, probably not a good idea. We'll talk about that when we get to sports. Mariners' two-game winning streak is now a one-game losing streak. They got the short end of the stick against the Rangers last night. We got, of course, that all-important weather forecast after a windy day yesterday. It's kind of cool, 63 degrees. Overnight lows are going to be a little on the chilly side. We'll have overnight lows in the 50s coming up this week, but we're going to start the warming process as the week progresses. Be glad you don't live in the Northeast section of the state. Places like Deer Park and Republic, they're going to have overnight lows over the next couple of days in the 30s, which is hard to believe for August. But then we have the potential to get very warm by the time we get to the weekend. Details are coming up. Plus, we have the obscure holidays, some celebrity birthdays, today in history, and of course, everyone is entitled to Mike McNaughty's opinion, whether you like it or not. 2 minutes after the hour, we have high clouds and 63 degrees. Let's take our tour around north central Washington. The sun has been making its presence felt for a little over an hour. It got up at 5:54 this morning. I got up at 4 o'clock in the morning, which is the time I get up Monday through Friday. 5:54 sunrise this morning, 8:16 sunset tonight, 14 hours and 22 minutes of daylight. We're losing about 2 minutes of daylight a day. Of course, the first day of summer back on June 21st, we had 15 hours and 58 minutes of daylight, almost 16 hours of daylight. So we've lost about an hour and a half, over an hour and a half of daylight since the first day of summer, but that's how it is. Not a bad morning, a few high clouds, but outside of that, we're looking pretty good. And there's no real wind in the forecast today. A little breezy at times tonight. What happened is, of course, they had cool air coming down. We had two different air masses that paid us a visit pretty much at the same time yesterday afternoon. We had some cool air drop down from Canada. Then we had some marine air coming in out the Pacific Ocean that made it through the Cascades, which is why we had the high clouds that came in as expected yesterday afternoon. They are still hanging around. They brought that cool air with them. So it's going to take us a little while to get up to what we're expected today. Highest temperatures today and tomorrow are going to be below normal. Then we're going to start warming up, get just in time for the weekend. Let's see what camera 2 looks like today. I don't know. I have to guess. That looks to be is that the Upper Butte? That's the Upper Butte in beautiful Chelan. How are you? Good to see you, Chelan. Nice view there. Of course, the Upper Butte is full of transmitters and towers and repeaters and all that stuff. It's a highly secure area, and it's also a great spot to put one of our Sky-Fi towers around the Lake Chelan area. We have a lot of Sky-Fi towers in the Lake Chelan area. Lake Chelan is one of those spots where the Sky-Fi system is very popular. It's great. You don't need fiber to your house to get high-speed internet. All you got to do is be able to look out your window and look up to Chelan Butte, and if you can see it, you might be able to get Sky-Fi, so give a local telecall. Screaming fast internet, no fiber. Nothing wrong with that. Camera 3. Hello and good morning to, oh my, let me think here. Is that Blag Mountain camera? That's the Blag Mountain camera, but it looks like she's pointed it a little to the northwest. I want to say Leavenworth is in the lower, is to the left off your screen. You can't see it. That's a guess, but a pretty educated one. Blag Mountain is high above Beshaston. In fact, it's about the highest peak above the greater Beshaston area, above downtown Beshaston. Anyways, we look over the Cascades. Nice view there, and that's I took a trip up to the Blag Mountain Tower site. I don't know, about 3-4 years ago. It's quite the drive. Takes a long time to get there, but that's the view that you get when you get there. That's the payoff. It's well worth it. Blowing a little bit too. You can see the cameras moving a skosh. Camera 4. Good morning to Lake Wenatchee. Fantastic view there. I wonder how the sockeye season is going up there at Lake Wenatchee. Dirty Face dominating your screen to the right there. You can see the Cater Glen Golf Course at the bottom of your screen. You can almost make the Wenatchee River out where it begins its journey to the Columbia River. Nice view from Lake Wenatchee, one of my favorite places to be. Except in like April and May when the mosquitoes are out. Then it's not so fun. But eventually the mosquitoes do their thing and move on down the line. So good morning to our friends in Lake Wenatchee and the Upper Valley. Thanks for starting your day with us. Just one quick slide to show to you from the National Weather Service. It's going to be cool in the middle part of the week. And then, of course, as I mentioned before, we're going to start warming up. So today's high and tomorrow's high a little bit below normal, a little windy at times too, especially tonight. And then here comes the warmth. By the time we get to Friday, we'll be right at normal, then above normal Saturday, well above normal on Sunday. It's going to be quite hot with temperatures at least in the upper 90s. We could see triple digits here in the Wenatchee Valley and the Columbia Basin. We're going to be flirting with triple digits. A friendly reminder, it's still August and we got a lot of summer to go. We're going to have a few clouds though today. They're going to be hanging around until mid to late morning. Then they're going to gradually depart. By the time we get to the afternoon hours, it'll be sunshine. Patriot Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling gives your home a hug. And here is your forecast. Again, mostly sunny. Once we get through these clouds today, they're not going to be hanging around much longer. Mid-morning, about 10:30, you'll notice they'll start to depart. By noonish or so, there are just a few clouds. And by 2, 3 in the afternoon, we'll have quite a bit of sunshine. Again, as you can see, they're high right around 83 or 84 degrees, 55 for the overnight low tonight with clear skies. That's a little on the cool side. As I mentioned before, Deer Park and Republic are going to see overnight lows in the 30s. It's always cooler there anyway, but that's cold for August. Mid-80s on Thursday, right around 85. Again, because of the cool overnight lows, it's going to take us a while to climb that ladder. 56 for the overnight low Thursday night. Friday, just about 90 degrees. We'll be kissing 90, maybe 89 or 90 on Friday. Saturday, big time warm up. We're going to jump up another 5 degrees to 95 degrees. Near 100, they tell us, on Sunday. Very mild overnight lows. You can see Sunday night with a high of 71. So if you have outdoor summertime goof-off plans, whatever the case may be, Saturday and Sunday are looking mighty fine indeed. No wind to deal with on Saturday like we had last Saturday, and then pretty darn warm on Monday and Tuesday. Speaking of the wind, I better mention this. No real wind today, but it's going to be, we're going to have a weak little trough come in and out tonight. So we're going to have a little bit of breeze tonight. You'll notice that. Wind about, west wind about 6 to 13 miles an hour. Very little wind expected on Thursday, then a little bit of wind on Thursday night before the wind dies down. We're expecting just nice light breezes to cool us down on Saturday and Sunday. So that's your forecast from the National Weather Service. Going to take a break, and when we come back, we'll have your Wednesday morning headlines. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley live this morning from Studio 7 in downtown Wenatchee on the NCW Life Channel.
Pybus Public Market's motto is where community meets. Whether it's people, enjoying an event, or they meet a colleague for coffee and whip out their laptop and are able to actually do work here, having quick and reliable Wi-Fi is one of the things that makes Pybus such a great community hub. It just contributes to the welcoming place that we want Pybus to be. I'm Allie, and fiber keeps people connected, and that's what Pybus Market is all about.
At Earthwise Pet, we take an all-natural approach to wellness and nutrition. Our professional certified groomers were trained by the best in the Pacific Northwest. Our staff here at Earthwise Pet are all certified in pet nutrition. We are here to help you select the perfect food, supplement, and anything else you may need to make sure your pet is living its best and most healthy life. Earthwise Pet, Nutrition Center and Wellness Spa. Online or in the store, we are here for you.
Back at it at 10 minutes after the hour, 63 degrees. We'll be right around 83 or 84 today and tomorrow with some cool overnight lows in the 50s. Then we start warming up on Friday, and it'll be downright, hot, I can say safely, on Saturday and Sunday, and a little breezy at times too. Before we get to the weekend, here are your headlines. This year has been an especially challenging year for travelers on Interstate 90 on or near Snoqualmie Pass. The Washington State Department of Transportation says problems in 2 areas have led to long delays at times for travelers. Especially troublesome, an eastbound section of I-90 about 9 miles east of the summit at the Stampede Pass interchange. A section of roadway there required an emergency closure last month, and that led to 15-mile backups. Work on a more permanent fix began on Monday. It's expected to take a couple of weeks. The biggest delays and closures, heads up, is expected the week of August 17th. Another problem for travelers, the eastbound lanes of the Vantage Bridge. There have been unplanned lane closures this summer as holes developed on the bridge deck pavement. Now, the bridge decking hasn't been replaced since the 1980s. Crews had to do 12 separate deck repairs on the bridge last year, only to see the problems return again this year. It'll cost $11 million to replace the bridge decking, and WashDOT says other bridges in the state are in much more dire need than the Vantage Bridge, so those permanent repairs probably not going to happen anytime in the near future. As they continue to struggle for revenue with their doors closed, a fundraiser has been set up at Eastmont Lanes, an attempt to help the business open up when they enter Phase 4 of Governor Jay Inslee's reopening plan. Here to tell us more on the fundraising effort, our very own Kyle Montgomery.
As the COVID-19 pandemic continues to put businesses further in trouble and on the brink of closure around the nation, one local staple that still doesn't have a clear path to open is Eastmont Lanes. And as they struggle to earn enough revenue to stay in business, the possibility of Eastmont Lanes closing permanently becomes more of a reality as the days pass. The lanes have been closed since the end of May and will not be allowed to reopen until Phase 4 of Governor Jay Inslee's phase reopening guidelines. The lanes could lose a big part of their annual revenue if weekly leagues, which start in September, are on hold for the remainder of the year. It also remains to be seen if the Eastmont or Wenatchee High School girls will begin their seasons on time, or if they will even begin their seasons at all. However, a Save the Lanes fundraiser has been organized for August 29th and 30th, where there will be a community yard sale, silent auction, and barbecue, with all the money raised being used to help Eastmont Lanes to reopen when safe to do so. The lanes are currently looking for community yard sale donations, as well as donations for the barbecue and silent auction, and can be reached at eastmontlanes@msn.com or 509-884-3593 for more information on how you can donate. A list of donation drop-off dates and times is also available on eastmontlanes.net, as well as more information on how you can help save the lanes. Reporting with NCW Life, I'm Kyle Montgomery.
Thank you for that report, Kyle. Level 1 evacuation notices issued yesterday morning for residents near the Lower Coyote Creek fire in Okanogan County. The fire is about 4 miles west of Nispelum. It's burned an estimated 4,500 acres by yesterday morning. The fire alert notices went out for the area between Red Thunder Cutoff Road, Mill Creek Road to Harrison Ranch Road. After the fire broke out Sunday, level 3 evacuation notices were sent out to houses along the Columbia River, but those have since been lowered to level 1. The incident management team on the fire said the red flag warning that was issued yesterday afternoon in the area helped prompt the evacuation notices. The superintendent of the Wenatchee School District, Paul Gordon, recently sat down with me on this very program to talk about how difficult it was to decide not to have students back in classrooms. School, of course, is set to begin on August 26th, and Gordon says the decision was the most difficult of his career.
We were working hard in the summertime, our last day with our students. We really started developing a 3-tiered plan. We knew we needed to have an online school, Wenatchee Internet Academy, that we launched, and we had great leaders take that on. And we also knew we needed a hybrid and a face-to-face, so we were working diligently to really work through all of those different pieces. However, the COVID in the area continued to increase. So one of the things that I am fortunate to be able to do is to be on weekly calls with our ESD. Dr. Michelle Price is an outstanding area superintendent, and she really was able to bring forward medical professionals from local and state to help guide our thinking. In the Wenatchee School District and all the other Chelan and Douglas County and throughout the region, we've got really great educational experts. We're not medical experts. Mm-hmm. So we needed to lean into the experts. And what we started hearing roughly now about 15 days ago was the amount of COVID in the Chelan Douglas County area. And understanding where they wanted us to be was about 25 cases per 100,000. And at times we were above 550 cases per 100,000. And really being able to hear from the Chelan Douglas County lead medical, Dr. Malcolm Butler, hearing from Confluence Health, Dr. Peter Rutherford, hearing from Columbia Valley, David Olson, the CEO over there, and many others. And what they started telling us was, from their perspective, it was too dangerous. It was too much of a risk for the amount of COVID in our community. And that's a real important indicator, as we saw from Governor Inslee's press conference yesterday. If you have less COVID in your community, it's safer to bring your students and staff together. And those were the guidelines that started to really influence me. And at that regional superintendent's meeting, I remember saying to the team is, I think collectively we really need to think about going online and teaching online. And that was that first day that all of us kind of sat back and said, we're back to online learning and teaching, and really trying to make sure that we were prepared for that moment, and why I came to that recommendation, my cabinet's recommendation to the board. Literally the hardest recommendation I've ever had to do.
The Washington State Department of Health is going to be surveying farm workers this month as it launches an effort to better understand the impact of COVID-19 on that workforce. In some areas of the state, like here in Chelan County, plus Douglas County, Grant, Okanagan County, farm workers have accounted for a disappropriate number of positive tests for the virus. The state says the result of the study will help officials to better respond to the needs of the farm worker community. California recently released results from a similar survey that showed most farm workers do wear face coverings and concluded the fallout from the COVID-19 pandemic is transforming the entire agricultural industry. Speaking of the agricultural industry, Stemilt had its Growers Award ceremony last week. They had to do it via Zoom. They celebrated their growing team and announced the recipients of its 2019 Grower Awards. Now, normally Stemilt gathers for a grower barbecue each year, but the event was canceled, of course, because of COVID-19. Distributed by Stemilt's field staff, 13 growers were selected and awarded based on their high-quality fruit that they produced during the 2019 crop year. Amongst the winners, the pear award winner, Jeff Thornton, the organic apple award winners, Bernard Reyes, Jose Garcia, Salvador Cardenas, and Ismael Torres, and the Valley Red Cherry award winners, Eric and Kyler Hansen. And finally, on this Wednesday morning, Washington State Patrol Trooper John Bryant says Lake Chelan is certainly beautiful, but some of the parking along the lake, not so beautiful. Bryant says being aware of where not to park when you visit the lake can save you a ticket and a tow.
Hello everybody, Trooper Bryant here, talking about no parking areas along State Route 97A near beautiful Lake Chelan. Beautiful day today, 80 degrees, clear, sunny. This whole area is a no parking zone and it's well marked. Also, if you plan to park in an area where there's signs aren't there, the shoulder's got to be wide enough for you to park. If you're on the roadway, in any way, your car could get towed. You could also get ticketed. So let's look for a safe, legal parking spot. Enjoy the rest of your summer.
And that's a look at what's making headlines at 19 minutes after the hour. Once again, Cal and Jefferson and Grant and everybody who makes the news happen will be making the news happen. We have our newscast at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 10 o'clock every Monday through Friday, and previewing tonight's news. Here's the anchor, Grant Olson.
Good morning, Dan. Coming up tonight on the NCW Life Evening News, Grant County K-9 Chewbacca chased down a felon in Moses Lake yesterday. We'll tell you about that. Cooler weather coming our way over the next couple of days. I'll have your complete North Central Washington weather forecast. And Eric Granstrom will be in with a look back at last night's Mariners-Rangers game, and he'll preview tonight's matchup as well. That and all the day's news coming up tonight at 5, 6, and 10 on the NCW Life Evening News. We hope you'll join us then. Dan?
Thank you, Grant. If you have a news tip or you just want to drop us a note, look at the bottom of your screen. You can pick up the telephone and give us a call to the number that you see there. You can go to our Facebook page, drop us a note via Facebook Messenger. That's a very popular way. to get a hold of us. You can email us directly, news@ncwlife.com, news@ncwlife.com, and ncwlife.com is our website. And if you go to our homepage, you'll see the Contact Us icon at the top of the screen. If you click on it, a form pops up. You fill it out, send it down the line. We're going to take a break when we come back. Sports, the obscure holiday, a very interesting today in history, a few celebrity birthdays to pass along. And everyone's entitled to Mike McNally's opinion. You're watching a Wednesday edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
Bring the whole family up to Stormy Mountain Brewing and local public house in historic downtown Chelan. Applewood smoked brisket, street-style tacos, and our award-winning barbecue rubs and sauces. Our meals pair perfectly with our exciting lineup of craft ales, made right here in Chelan. We've got room for big groups, or give us a call for catering. So grab the kids and check out the fun at Stormy Mountain Brewing and local public house located in the heart of Chelan.
At Harvest Valley Pest Control, we know you are committed to making your home and business a healthy and pest-free place. Hi, I'm David. Give us a call and we'll give you a firm price over the phone and schedule a time that works for you. We will do an in-depth 30-point healthy home or business inspection and craft a customized plan of action designed specifically for your pest issue. Give us a call or visit our website today.
Back out of the 22 minutes after the hour on this Wednesday. No real surprise here, but the Pac-12 has voted to postpone all fall sports competitions. That does include football through the end of this year. The announcement came shortly after the Big Ten Conference made the same announcement. Pac-12 Commissioner Larry Scott said in a statement, and I'm quoting now, "Our student athletes, fans, staff, and all those who love college sports would like to have seen the season played this calendar year as originally planned, and we know how disappointed this is," end quote. He went on to say, "The health, safety, and well-being of our student athletes and all those connected to Pac-12 sports have been our number one priority since the start of this current crisis." Seahawks will hold on-field practice today. For the first time since training camp began, the team is set to practice at 1 o'clock today at the VMAC in what's going to be the first of a 5-day ramp-up period. And basically, each day practices will increase in length and in intensity. Since there are no preseason games, Seattle will hold 2 scrimmages at CenturyLink Field in the coming weeks. Coach Pete Carroll says he hates the fact that the fans can't come out and watch, but they'll try to make it feel like a home game as much as possible.
When we go in on the 22nd and the 26th, you know, we're going to get a sense for it. We're actually going to be playing in the stadium like it could be on game day if there's no fans in the stands. And we'll pump the sound, we'll do it all, and away we go. It breaks my heart that our fans who love our game and love our team and all that, the 12s don't get a chance to do it like they've been planning, you know, every year in the off season, in the build up and all. But we'll try to bring them as close to them as we can and share it with them as best we can. But I hope everybody is really creative with our way of making the stadium feel like game day. And so I'm not sure yet. I did make a statement to the 12s. I'm going to try to come up with some creative ways, like when we all step outside on the front doorstep of where you're living and we all scream at the same time. I don't know what it is, but maybe we can be howling all across the state or some way, you know, and see if we can't, you know, set some records that way too. But we're all going to be challenged to figure it out, and hopefully we'll do some great stuff.
Today is also the first day that fans can watch practice on TV or online. Training Camp Live will air on Q13 Fox at 1 o'clock today. It's also going to be streamed on the team's YouTube channel, Seahawks mobile app, or on their website at Seahawks.com. And if you miss it live, you can watch it again tonight at 11 on Q13 Fox as well. The Mariners' brief 2-game winning streak didn't last very long. Came to an end last night. Rangers got the better of the Mariners in Texas. The final was 4-2. A night after coming up with 10 runs on 15 hits, the Seattle Bats didn't do much yesterday, contributing just 2 runs on 4 hits. Marco Gonzalez battled for 5 innings. He took the loss. He allowed 4 runs, 7 hits. He had 2 strikeouts and gave up a walk. Gonzalez says it was just one of those nights where the ball kept finding the holes.
You know, I was a little frustrated, bases loaded, 1 out, chopper up the middle. You know, I feel like in those situations, you make a pitch, you do everything right, and the ball just doesn't go your way. So, those lessons on, resetting and getting back on the hill and making another quality pitch, I felt like I did that pretty well for the most part tonight. And they fell off a lot of good pitches and were able to take some pretty long at-bats.
Kyle Seager had 2 of Seattle's 4 hits. The Mariners fall to 7-12 on the season. Manager Scott Service said he thought Marco didn't have his normal stuff. The Texas hitters handled the pitchers pretty well.
I thought Marco really, gutted it out and hung in there. Wasn't quite as sharp as we've seen him, certainly the last couple times out. But then, a couple ground ball hits got through there, a 2-run single in the first, and then they added on a couple later. But I really did think he wasn't quite as sharp, just, commanding the strike zone like he has been the last couple times out. But got us through 5, and then, really good night by our bullpen again tonight. Guys were aggressive, 8 out of 9 first pitch strikes, and we took care of business. Fortunately, their bullpen slowed us down a little bit. I thought the lefty Rodriguez, when he came in the game, he really calmed things down, and they were able to get 2 innings out of him. He had really good stuff tonight, so I have to give them credit. I thought we had Minor on the ropes a couple times there early in the ball game, and weren't really able to push anything across there. And even in the inning, we got the 5th, and we got the 2 runs. We had 1 in, first and second, and they made some defensive plays behind us tonight. That happened. So get after tomorrow and a chance to win the series.
Mariners and Rangers do battle one more time, as the manager just said. 6:05. First pitch, Taijuan Walker gets the nod. Jordan Lyles will toe the rubber for the Rangers. To the Les Schwab American League West scoreboard from last night, Brandon Crawford's RBI base hit on the top of the 10th inning gave San Francisco a come-from-behind win over Houston, 7-6. They were trailing 6-5 in the ninth, and then Darren Ruff came up with a 1-out RBI base hit. That extended the game to the 10th for the Giants. And Dylan Bundy struck out 10 over 7 innings of shutout ball. That led L.A. past Oakland 5-0. Jason Castro was one of 4 Angels with a home run, a 3-run shot in the 4th. So the standings, as you see, Texas jumps into second place in the AL West with the win. They're 4 games back of Oakland. Seattle slides to last place, 5.5 games behind the A's. And those are just some of the games that people are playing at 27 minutes after the hour on this Wednesday. The obscure holiday of the day today. Today is Middle Child Day. Marcia. Middle Child Day falls annually on August 12th. It celebrates the middle child in the family. That space that sometimes faces special challenges. The middle child syndrome actually exists, but it only exists if you have 2 siblings. So you have an older and the baby and then the middle child. If you have like 7 kids in the family, the 4th child may be the middle child, but the 4th child doesn't have middle child syndrome. Middle child syndrome only really occurs when there's 3 of them. And what is the middle child syndrome? It's pretty obvious. It's a matter of identity. The older child, or the oldest, is usually given more responsibilities and more privileges. The youngest is the baby of the family, and so they're treated as such. That leaves the middle child feeling like they don't really have a place. They're not the baby in the family, and they're not the adult in the family, and sometimes they have a hard time finding their special little spot in the group. A lot of experts believe that birth order of children determines a great deal of their personality. Again, according to the survey, the firstborn child are settled with privileges and responsibilities, leadership roles. The youngest child often feels like they're not taken seriously enough. They're always too young to do whatever they want to do. The middle child takes on a personality of their own. The personality of the middle child, however, according to experts, is usually a little more fluid. The oldest child have a tendency to be a parent pleaser, somebody who plays by the rules and does the right things, and the middle child, therefore, becomes the rebel of the family. That's just a theory, but there are very famous middle children. The second of 3 that went on to do pretty good things. I don't know, Abe Lincoln was a middle child. So was Warren Buffett, Herbert Hoover. Well, maybe that's not such a good example. Jennifer Lopez, Anne Hathaway, David Letterman was a middle child. Britney Spears, Bill Gates, they're all middle children. Happy Middle Child Day today. Always celebrates on August 12th because, I don't know, it just is. It is August 12th, 528 years ago. On this date in 1492, of course, Columbus and his crew had left 9 days earlier for their first voyage to the west. So they were only at sea for 9 days, but they needed supplies. They needed to, get the ships seaworthy to cross the Atlantic. So they stopped off at the Canary Islands. The Canary Islands off the northwest coast of Africa to get their supplies and to make sure their ships were ready for the big trip. And unfortunately, it was a harbinger of things to come because Christopher Columbus and his crew brought with them endemic diseases that the natives of the Canary Islands had no acquired immunity. And this would happen again and again and again when they got to the other side of the Atlantic. But the Canary Islands got to be the first. Canary Islands are kind of isolated out there in the Atlantic Ocean. They didn't have a lot of visitors. Canary Islands is a tourist trap now. It wasn't a tourist trap in 1492. And a lot of the folks in the Canary Islands ended up dying from diseases that Chris Columbus and the crew brought with them 528 years ago today. 39 years ago today, a revolutionary computer hit the market. This thing was huge. August 12, 1981, 39 years ago today, the IBM personal computer is released. A huge advertising campaign, very successful, and of course it would make Bill Gates a millionaire because Bill Gates said, computers don't run without software. I'll take care of that for you, IBM. And then it made him a billionaire. If you wanted to go out to your local computer store and buy the IBM personal computer on this day back in 1981, it'll set you back $1,565, which in today's money is $4,401. That's a lot of money for a computer. And believe it or not, there are people who still have them and they still use them. It is considered incredibly reliable. The National Weather Service used IBM personal computers right up until about 10 years ago. I kid you not. It revolutionized home computing, the IBM personal computer, released on this date in 1981. In the world of baseball, there are 3 different types of baseball fights, brawls, if you will. There's the stage 1 brawl, which is just a bunch of guys go out there and push each other around. Nobody gets hurt. How you doing, Phil? How's your golf game? All right, and then they go back to the dugout. Second kind of fight would be, shoving's a little more intense. Maybe a punch or two is thrown. A couple guys go to the ground and it's all broken up and then they all go back to the dugout again. And then there's what happened at Atlanta Fulton County Stadium on August 12th, 1984, 36 years ago today. It was a bad start. It's Atlanta and it's August. They always have thunderstorms. It rained. They had a 3-hour rain delay before the game started, but unfortunately, during that 3-hour rain delay, they kept serving beer, which was probably not a good idea. The very first pitch of the game, Atlanta's Pascual Perez hit Alan Wiggins right in the back. That set the tone. Eventually, things began to escalate. The Padres began to throw at Perez, and there were eventually 2 bench-clearing brawls. I'm not going to show you the first one. The second one was bad. It went something like this.
Ozzie Virgil. So now Jack Kroll runs the club, and Lefferts delivers inside, and I think he's going to be gone too. Here come the Braves. They are going after Lefferts. For the 4th straight time, Perez coming to the plate, and we've got one going now. And there are some hot-tempered individuals out there. Pascual Perez not involved there. Well, I tell you what, this is about as good a little battle as you're going to see. We've got about 5 separate fights going on out in the field. Pascual Perez is not out there. He's gone back to the Atlanta dugout. Champ Summers went after Pascual Perez. While all the other players congregated out in the middle of the infield, Summers headed directly for the Braves dugout. He was held back by somebody. Here he goes. Summers charging after Perez. Bob Horner has come out. We've got some fans involved now. Oh, my. Oh, my. This one is very close to getting totally out of control. couple of fans have come down onto the field. Other fans were involved throwing things. There's still one fan down there in the middle of all that.
It looks like Rick Camp is trying to protect the Padre down there now. In a way, it's good a fan got involved because that'll turn all the players. It's like a family feud. Turn all the players against the fan.
Okay, we've got one fan that's been grabbed by a couple of security guards. There we go again. Now Gerald Perry and Tim Flannery getting into it. Or is that Bavacqua? Flannery's been pulled out of that rhubarb, but we've had about 6 or 7 separate fights break out here. Security guards down in the field have a couple of fans in handcuffs, leading them off the field. Flannery's been pulled back by Joe Pignatano. It's not so funny anymore.
No, a couple of interesting postscripts to this brawl. After everything was settled, the teams were not allowed to go back into the dugout. They had to go into the clubhouses, and only as each hitter was announced could they come out of the clubhouse to hit. The benches were emptied by the umpires. You notice that Bob Horner got involved in the fight. Bob Horner was on injured reserve and was watching the game from the press box in his street clothes when the fights began to start. He went down to the clubhouse, put on his Atlanta uniform, even though he had his hand in a cast, and joined the fray. 6 fans were arrested. 19 players were ejected. 19 players, including both managers and the managers who replaced them. Happened on this date 36 years ago today. Whew, that's a brawl. Deadliest airplane accident of all time in a single plane happened on this date, August 12, 1985. Japan Airlines Flight 123 crashes in the hills to the west of Tokyo. 520 people on board the 747 died. It is the single worst airplane disaster of all time. From NBC News.
The wreckage of a jumbo jet can be seen scattered across the mountains. A specially configured 747 loaded with more than 500 people at the peak of one of Japan's most popular travel holidays.
50 bodies have been recovered, and it now seems fairly certain that only 4 people survived the crash. They were in the rear of the plane. They are a 35-year-old mother and her 8-year-old daughter, a 26-year-old stewardess flying as a passenger, and a 12-year-old girl. The current theory is that the right rear door on the plane came off, hit the tail section, and threw the 747 out of control. The pilot turned the crippled plane to the right toward Yokota Air Force Base. He had been given permission to make an emergency landing there, but after flying an erratic path, the plane crashed into the mountainside. Most of the search and rescue effort has stopped for the night. There is now only the faintest hope that any more survivors will be found.
Happened on this date 35 years ago today. And finally, a dark day for me. August 12th, 1994, 26 years ago today. It is official. The Major League Baseball players go on strike. Eventually, the 1994 season would not resume. There would be no World Series. They played the World Series in World War I and World War II. Baseball never stopped, but the baseball players went on strike. It was eventually settled by court order in April of the next year. The players pretty much got everything that they wanted, but we had no baseball for the rest of the 1994 season, and it was a great season that was happening. Oh, well, still bugs me. Probably should get over that. It's been 26 years. 39 minutes after the hour. Speaking of baseball, birthdays, he was known as the Christian Gentleman, Christy Mathewson, Matty. For 17 years, the right-handed pitcher for the New York Giants and one of the best right-handed pitchers of all time. Still holds numerous records, fought for his country in World War I, was accidentally gassed. It weakened his lungs. He eventually contracted tuberculosis and died at the age of 45. Christy Mathewson, one of the first 5 inductees into the Baseball Hall of Fame, born in the state in 1880. John Cazale owns an interesting piece of Hollywood history. Very famous actor John Cazale, born in the state in 1935, died of cancer At the age of 14, John Cazale only acted in 5 movies in his entire career. All 5 movies that he was in were nominated for the Academy Award for Best Picture. The Godfather Part 2, Dog Day Afternoon, The Conversation, and The Deer Hunter. The only 5 movies he made, all 5 nominated for Best Picture. And of course, both Godfather pictures and The Deer Hunter won Best Picture. John Cazale was diagnosed with lung cancer right before they started filming The Deer Hunter. They said it was fatal, and so all of his scenes in The Deer Hunter, if you've ever seen the movie, and you should, it's phenomenal. All of John Cazale's scenes were shot first so he could get his parts done. In fact, he died before the movie was finished. John Cazale, born in the state in 1935, and happy 49th birthday to Pete Sampras. Won 14 Grand Slam singles titles when he retired in 2002. That was the record for most Grand Slam singles titles. He won 7 Wimbledons. He won 2 Australian Opens, 5 U.S. Open titles. Never did win a French Open. He was the #1 ranked player in the world for 286 weeks, which is pretty remarkable. And my favorite fact about Pete Sampras, the last tennis tournament he ever played, the 2002 U.S. Open, and he won. He defeated his longtime rival Andre Agassi, and then he retired. Pete Sampras, 49 years old today. We are going to take a break. When we come back, Mike Magnotti's got an opinion. You're watching Wake Up on Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Live channel.
Hi, my name is Manuel Navarro, Chief Operating Officer at Columbia Valley Community Health. Patient safety is our top priority, including providing care that just can't wait. With enhanced safety precautions, we want to ensure you that we're able to continue providing safe and efficient in-person care at our clinic. From in-car check-in, ongoing screening, immediate rooming, your family can get the safe care that they deserve here at Columbia Valley Community Health.
I work in healthcare, and we give all of our employees free Works memberships. Why? Because health is important to us. And when people are healthier, they're better at their jobs, but they're also better at life. And that's who we are, and that's who Works is. Works is not just a gym. It's a place, it's an organization that actually celebrates health.
When you call Dick's Heating and Air Conditioning, you get 35 years of experience and customer service in the Wenatchee Valley. Dick's friendly staff strongly believe in repairing before replacing and service all major brands of HVAC units. Dick's Heating and Air Conditioning is your local, independent, trained comfort specialists, proudly serving all of North Central Washington. Call 884-6444 today.
Dr. Wayne Latimer's Integrative Chiropractic Clinic and Rehab now offers more services. If you've been injured on the job, in an auto accident, have a sports injury, call today and try his wraparound services. Latimer Chiropractic Clinic has added a physician's assistant and a naturopath to their medical lineup. From needing stress relief from a busy life to looking at core health issues, stop by Latimer's Integrative Chiropractic Clinic on Mission, where they are committed to doing more so you can too.
Contractors, furniture makers, and weekend do-it-yourselfers around North Central Washington will tell you that Lombard's Hardwood Supply is the place to get what you need. Lombard's full millwork shop can handle jobs large or small. Lombard's has a full line of interior and exterior doors available, as well as custom barn doors. From alderwood to zebrawood and everything in between, it's Lombard's Hardwood Supply on School Street in Sunny Slope. Like us on Facebook and check out our monthly special.
Coming home should never be a chore. Let Mary Maids of Wenatchee customize all your cleaning needs. Weekly, bi-weekly, special occasion. Do you have a vacation home that needs cleaning? We clean them too. Locally owned and operated, let Mary Maids do the cleaning while you focus on your family and friends. Mary Maids has special offers to fit your budget. Request your free cleaning estimate today. 509-663-1710.
Hey, this is Mike Mad Dog Magnotti, and everybody's entitled to my opinion. Now,
In high school, my friend Fritz and his girlfriend Maria, they started asking me to go out on their dates with them. Now, this was because Maria had a friend Sally who liked me, and Maria always arranged for this kind of double date kind of thing. Now, I really wasn't into Sally, but to be nice, I'd have to go to her door and pick her up, and then go out with Fritz and Maria. But about the third time this happened, Sally's parents met me at the door, and they said I couldn't pick up Sally anymore until I combed my hair and tucked in my shirt. I turned around and walked out. Oh, Sally came running out a few minutes early, really angry, and said she told her parents to mind their own doggone business. But honestly, this was the last time I picked up Sally. Memories of youth and dating, they're sometimes not all they're cracked up to be. This is Mike, Mad Dog Magnotti, and that's my opinion.
No calories, no sweeteners, all smiles. Bubbly, sparkling water. Crack a smile.
Green Motion e-bikes have rolled into Wenatchee. We've got fun, affordable e-bikes for the whole family. Portable e-bikes that fit right in the trunk of your car. Fat tire mountain bikes plus unique vintage style bikes you won't find anywhere else. Get some exercise with pedal assist or just cruise up to 20 miles per hour with the throttle. Starting under $1,000, Green Motion e-bikes are affordable fun for the whole family. Green Motion e-bikes is located right downtown on the corner of Palouse and Wenatchee Avenue.
Is search engine optimization right for my business? Maybe. Studies show the first and second search results get 50% of all the clicks. But you have to fight national chains to get there. If the user has to scroll down to find you, tough luck. You could hide a dead body on page 2 and the whole zombie apocalypse on page 3. Or you could spend less and get an ad in the Impact Big Print phone book, giving local businesses a chance to shine.
Impact Directories. Bigger print, better book.
Hello, this is Dr. Glenn Poey, letting you know that we are open and seeing our current patients and also looking forward to seeing new ones here at 620 North Emerson, Suite 300. Look forward to making you feel your best.
When you or your family's physical health is compromised and you need medical supplies, Value Plus Medical Supply is where you turn for solutions. All of our staff has a medical background assuring you the highest quality of customer service. Stop by Value Plus today.
High clouds, 62 degrees. We'll take one more look at that forecast. The clouds will be departing. The sun will be joining us before this day is said and done. Well, again, we'll give you the forecast before we call it a day, but one more look at what's making headlines this morning. And this has been an especially challenging year for travelers on I-90 in and around the Snoqualmie Pass area. The Washington State Department of Transportation says problems in 2 areas have led to sometimes long delays for travelers, especially troublesome in eastbound section of the interstate about 9 miles east of the summit at the Stampede Pass interchange. A section of roadway there required an emergency closure last month that led to 15-mile backups. Work on a more permanent fix began on Monday. It's expected to take a couple of weeks. The biggest delays in closure is expected the week of August 17th. Another problem for travelers, the eastbound lanes of the Vantage Bridge. There have been unplanned lane closures this summer as holes developed on the bridge deck pavement. Now, the bridge decking has not been replaced since the 1980s, and crews had to do 12 separate deck repairs on the bridge last year, only to see the problems return again this year. According to the Washington State Department of Transportation, it's going to cost $11 million to replace the bridge decking. And they say there are other bridges in the state that are in worse shape than the Vantage Bridge, so those repairs aren't going to happen anytime in the near future. As they continue to struggle for revenue with their doors closed, a fundraiser has been set up for Eastmont Lanes in an attempt to help the business open up when they enter Phase 4 of Governor Inslee's reopening plan. Here to tell us more on the fundraising effort, our very own Kyle Montgomery.
As the COVID-19 pandemic continues to put businesses further in trouble and on the brink of closure around the nation, one local staple that still doesn't have a clear path to open is Eastmont Lanes. And as they struggle to earn enough revenue to stay in business, the possibility of Eastmont Lanes closing permanently becomes more of a reality as the days pass. The lanes have been closed since the end of May and will not be allowed to reopen until Phase 4 of Governor Jay Inslee's phase reopening guidelines. The lanes could lose a big part of their annual revenue if weekly leagues, which start in September, are on hold for the remainder of the year. It also remains to be seen if the Eastmont or Wenatchee High School girls will begin their seasons on time, or if they will even begin their seasons at all. However, a Save the Lanes fundraiser has been organized for August 29th and 30th, where there will be a community yard sale, silent auction, and barbecue, with all the money raised being used to help Eastmont Lanes to reopen when safe to do so. The Lanes are currently looking for community yard sale donations, as well as donations for the barbecue and silent auction, and can be reached at eastmontlanes@msn.com or 509-884-3593 for more information on how you can donate. A list of donation drop-off dates and times is also available on eastmontlanes.net, as well as more information on how you can help save the lanes. Reporting with NCW Life, I'm Kyle Montgomery.
Thank you for that report, Kyle. Level 1 evacuation notices were issued yesterday and for residents near the Lower Coyote Creek fire. This is in Okanagan County. The fire, about 4 miles west of Nespelem, has burned an estimated 4,500 acres. By yesterday morning, the fire alert notices went out for the area between Red Thunder Cutoff Road, Mill Creek Road to Harrison Ranch Road. Now, after the fire broke out Sunday, level 3 evacuation notices were sent out to houses along Columbia River Road, but those have since been lowered to level 1. The incident management team on the fire said the red flag warning that we had yesterday afternoon in the area helped prompt the level 1 evacuation notices. State Department of Health is going to be surveying farm workers this month as it launches an effort to better understand the impact of COVID-19 on the workforce. In some areas of the state, like Chelan, Douglas, Grant, and Okanagan counties, farm workers have accounted for a disappropriate number of positive tests for the virus. The state says the results of the study will help officials to better respond to the need of the farm worker community. California recently released results from a similar survey, and that showed most farm workers there are wearing face coverings and concluded the fallout from the COVID-19 pandemic is transforming the entire agricultural industry. Speaking of that, last week, Stemilt held its Grower Awards ceremony. They did it via Zoom. They celebrated their growing team and announced the recipients of its 2019 Grower Awards. Now, normally the company gathers for a big barbecue each year, but the event was canceled, of course, because of COVID-19. Distributed by Stemilt's field staff, 13 growers were selected and awarded based on the high-quality fruit they produced during last year's growing season. A few of the winners included the Pear Award winner, Jeff Thornton, the Organic Apple Award winners, Bernard Reyes, Jose Garcia, Salvador Cardenas, and Ismael Torres, and the Valley Red Cherry Award winners, Eric and Kyler Hansen. And finally, Washington State Patrol Trooper John Bryant says Lake Chelan is certainly beautiful, but parking along US 97A along Lake Chelan is not a very good idea. Bryant says being aware of where you can and can't park when visiting the lake is going to save you a ticket and a tow.
Hello everybody, Trooper Bryant here, talking about no parking areas along State Route 97A near beautiful Lake Chelan. Beautiful day today, 80 degrees, clear, sunny. This whole area is a no parking zone and it's well marked. Also, if you plan to park in an area where there's signs aren't there, the shoulder's got to be wide enough for you to park. If you're on the roadway, in any way, your car could get towed. You could also get ticketed. So let's look for a safe, legal parking spot. Enjoy the rest of your summer.
Good advice from Trooper John Bryant, and it has been an extremely busy summer at the area parks, not only at the state park, but the city parks and the other parks in and around the Lake Chelan area. So don't get your car towed. It's not very fun. We are going to take a break, and when we come back, we'll take one more look at your weather forecast. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Live channel.
Highlander Grill and Golf Course is known as one of the finest wedding venues in the Wenatchee area. You do not have to be a member to come to Highlander. Highlander Golf Course offers a first-class backdrop for your wedding day. Our friendly professional staff will ensure your wedding and reception is picture perfect, from every moment leading up to the I do's to when the lights go down at the end of your reception. Hi, I'm Shalane, site coordinator for Highlander Grill. Give me a call to schedule your event today.
JDSA Law is a proud sponsor of these local sports broadcasts. They've been serving North Central and Eastern Washington since 1946. For over 70 years, their team of dedicated professionals has delivered quality, innovative legal services. JDSA Law partners with you to provide the finest legal advice and support as you navigate your personal and business challenges, risks, and accomplishments. At JDSA Law, they salute our local athletes and wish them well on another excellent season of competition.
I'm Jenny Rojanasatian, and this is Guada TV. Every week we will be bringing you a first look at North Central Washington business, tech, and education news. You'll hear from local influencers and innovators who live right here in the Valley. Together we'll discuss hot topics, current events, and resources that can support your business, our schools, and this community. Join me every week and let's get inspired.
Building. It's in our blood. Building something out of nothing. It takes heart, grit, and hard work. At One Way Construction, our crew is our family. With decades of contracting experience and our in-house design team, we bring a unique perspective to building. We know that if we work together, we are capable of reaching heights that are impossible to reach alone. The possibilities are endless.
Oh, that's awesome. Look at that. Yeah.
There he is. Sure wish he's here.
Yeah, no kidding.
Little 4-point. It's a nice coconut. Solid fish.
Watch the Northwest Outdoorsman with Richie Herod Saturdays and Sundays at 6 a.m., 9:30 a.m., and 4:30 p.m. on the NCW Life Channel.
Sorrento's restaurant at Chelan Cellars provides a unique dining experience. The dining room provides a spectacular view of the Lake Chelan Valley. Lunch and dinner are served daily, and the weekend brunch is something that must be experienced and won't soon be forgotten. From the menu to the music, nothing is overlooked. At Sorrento's, you will always be impressed, especially when you discover how close and how affordable luxury can be. It's all within your reach at Sorrento's at Chelan Cellars.
And we are back with a couple of minutes to go. I just went to the National Weather Service website. I was looking at some of the overnight lows on Thursday morning for the inland Northwest. These are the overnight lows Thursday morning. Some of these temperatures are jumping right out at me. It's going to be 38 for the overnight low in Deer Park. That's hard to believe. Pullman's overnight low on Thursday night will be 42 degrees. Republic, 38 degrees for the overnight low. That's chilly. Now here in the Wenatchee Valley, our overnight lows will be in the mid-50s on Thursday night, which is still pretty cool for this time of the year. Our overnight lows are usually right around 63 or 64 this time of the year. But for some folks, especially in the northeast quadrant of our state, it's going to be cold Thursday night. Let's show you a quick slide from the National Weather Service. As I mentioned, it's going to be a little bit below normal today, a little bit below normal on Thursday. Then we'll be right about normal by the time we get to Friday. And then the warming trend begins just in time for the weekend. In fact, we have the potential to be quite hot by the time we get to Sunday and Monday of next week. A friendly reminder, it is still August. So from the National Weather Service, here's your forecast. The one thing you'll notice, quite a bit of that yellow thing. That's called the sun. Now, we do have some high clouds today. About mid-morning, they're going to start to depart the area. By the time we get to noon or 1, it'll be fairly sunny and a little on the cool side for this time of year, 84 for our afternoon high, 55 for the overnight low tonight. A little wind tonight. West wind about 6 to 13 miles an hour. Heads up on that. Thursday, quite a bit of sunshine and a high of 85 degrees, 56 for the overnight low Thursday night. So again, it's going to be chilly for the overnight lows for the next couple of nights. And then we warm back up. Friday will be near 90 degrees. A little bit of light wind expected on Friday. Saturday, we jump up another 5 degrees to 95. We wrap up the weekend on Sunday with near triple digits. And near triple digits or into the triple digits we could see on Monday and Tuesday. Yep, still August. Can't forget about that. Have a great Wednesday. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.